Hello everybody, I'd like to welcome everybody back to my layout. It's been an extremely long time since I've done an update. The last and only update I've done on this layout was, I want to say, back in January of this year. For anybody who happened to see that update, the layout looks completely different than it did at that time. At that time, all I had done were the scenes in the fork in each of the four corners of my layout. I had the track down. It was not completely ballasted, but maybe, I don't know, 80% ballasted, 70% ballasted, to give it a percentage. My yard had already been set up, but I hadn't put any ground cover or any figures or anything like that down. The layout dimensions are 7 by 10 feet. The outer loop is 060 curves. The inner loop is 048 curves. It's LIONEL fast track. Originally, when I first started this layout at the beginning of 2014, I actually wanted to do 072 on the outer loop and 060 on the inner loop. But when it came down to it, I was only going to have maybe, with the space I have, only maybe 20 inches of straightaway on each of the loops. And I wanted more straightaway, so I went ahead and decided to go with 060 on the outside and 048 on the inside. So unfortunately, I can't run any 072 engines. There's a few out there that I would love to have, but I just don't have big enough curves. Like I said, I used LIONEL fast track. If I ever do build another layout, I'd like to use Atlas track or Gargraves or one of the other ones to give it, so it looks more realistic. I used Smooth It for my roads. All of the buildings that I have on my layout are all MTH. I have a couple of LIONEL. I have a couple of things that come from LIONEL, like the street lights and the coaling tower. Other than that, it's all MTH. All my figures that I have on my layout are either MTH, Artista, or MTH Rail King. And the signs that are up on top of the buildings, they're all made by Miller Engineering. The Budweiser sign up on top of my Fatheads bar currently isn't working right now because when I went to hook it up, I accidentally pull the insulator all the way off. So I'm probably going to have to replace the sign completely unless I can figure out some other way to fix it. Now let's go ahead and take a tour of the layout, and I'll show you everything that I've done. Down here in this back corner of the layout, I've got a little oil well scene set up. I've got my high tension tower back here, my oil well. There's a truck right there that belongs to the oil field workers. I've got an oil field guy. He's climbing up to the top, and his boss is right there walking to his truck. I also put some Woodland Scenics cattle figures down. And they're sitting right there under the high tension tower having something to eat. Moving a little bit further to the front, I've got a grade crossing scene right here. It's got two MTH crossing signals, and what I used to make my grade crossing is just a piece of balsa wood in between each of the tracks. I still need to add the I've got some wood. I've got some extra balsa wood that I might use, or I've got the Woodland Scenics metal grade crossing that I need to put in between the rails to finish that off. Right now, this grade crossing both lights are blinking on both sides because they're both set to constant voltage, because I need to find some smaller wire to use to plug into the TIU, so then I can run the signals from my remote. Up here in this front corner on the left side of my layout, I've got a little lake that I made using one of the products from Woodland Scenics. I've got some fishermen that I also purchased from Woodland Scenics set up right here by the water, and then the barbecue scene is set up right behind it. I like the way this scene turned out. Up here on the front right corner of my layout, I've got a Z-Surf three color signal set up. I've got an MTH Rail King tower, and then right next to it is the MTH Rail King water tower. In the back right corner, I've got my other water tower, and then I've got an MTH high tension line tower sitting right next to it. There's also some deer back there that are grazing near the water tower and under the high tension tower. Moving over here to my maintenance facility, I've got my yard tower already set up. Everything's lit. I have two MTH yard lights. Each of them have they're the ones that have the 4 bulbs on the top. Down on the bottom of the screen, down on the bottom of the picture, pardon me, is my Union Pacific Canine police truck. There's an officer and his dog getting ready to go to work, with a mow vehicle right next to it, and got one of the guys up in the gondola. He's gonna go fix the yard lights, because there's a yard light that's out. I used just some Woodland Scenics gravel over here for ground cover, and I bought some railroad ties from Model Train Stuff. I forget who actually made them, but they're little stacks. They're really nice. And then I bought a couple little scrap piles, which are sitting directly behind it. From Model Inc. Studios. My engine house is set up right next to it, and let me show you a look of it from the inside. If you look in here inside my engine house, I've got a few engineers just standing around waiting for a train to come in. Down on the far end, I've got some welders working on a few things, and then the mechanics are over to the right side. I really like the way this turned out. Let me give you, before I forget, let me give you a little closer shot of the cows hanging out under the high tension tower next to my oil well. Now we'll move on into the middle. Along the back wall, I've got some building fronts that I bought from my YouTube friend Nick Foltz, aka PGH Train Fanatic. I really like the work he's done. I really like the work he does. This one right here with the smoke coming out of the top, it's a brewery, and there's also a little LED light. You can probably see it on the right side. It's right behind that tree. I really like the way these fronts look. Gives my layout some more depth. Moving along, right here behind the Edie's Grocery, I've got a little construction scene that I set up. All the construction workers and the stuff, they're all made by Woodland Scenics. And then right behind it, there's a police car sitting back there, and we've got a robbery that's taken place, and the guy's running away with a bag of something or other, and there's a police officer just out of view right behind him, chasing him. Looking down Main Street right here, got some people milling around in front of the golf shop and the pizza place, which is right next to it. On the right, I've got a garbage truck and There's a jogger trying to sneak by on his right side while the garbage men are around the corner there in the parking lot picking up the cans. I've got a set of 4 MTH Rail King traffic signals. Right now, 2 of them are hooked up. The other 2 I've got to weasel my way into the table and try to hook up the other little box that comes with it. Further down the street, I've got an MTH Greyhound bus. He's at the stop sign. And this street right here starts right here at this grade crossing. It goes and it takes a right and runs right up against my engine house over to where my industrial park is, and then the entrance into my Union Pacific maintenance yard. Right here in front of the sporting goods store, we got some kids sitting around the soda machine just having a drink after they got done riding their bikes, and the UPS man has shown up to pick up and deliver some packages for the store. Right here in the front, next to the passenger platform, I set up a little trackside park scene. It's got some kids just playing around there in the park. There's a little boy and his father taking pictures of the trains as they come by. The second of my Z-Stuff 3-color signals, right there to the right, and then right next to it is the flagpole. Right behind the park, in front of the taxidermy store, there's a police officer and he's got somebody arrested for God knows what, and then we've got a gentleman just sitting up, propped up, just hanging out. Right here in front of the pharmacy, we just got some more town folk milling around. And the same right over here at the radio station. Moving along up here to the front, I've got some passengers and some train personnel. They're loading baggage for the passenger train. We move on over here to the depot. Got some more guys working. And then back over here to this other passenger platform. We've got some more passengers waiting for the local passenger train to come in. Moving over here to my industrial park. Here's my dry goods warehouse. We got guys working up in the front, moving freight around, waiting for the boxcars to come so they can load them up. And around back, the trailers are parked at the loading docks, waiting to get unloaded or loaded. Back here behind my industrial park, inside the Union Pacific maintenance yard, there's a couple of AT&T trucks working on the phone lines. Back here behind the diner, everybody's hard at work at the brewery, unloading and loading the trucks. Trying to deliver the beer and wine and everything and get it out to the customers. I believe that about covers it. Like I said, I'm about 95% done. There's still a couple of things I would like to get done. I've got some wire over here that I purchased from Hobby Lobby that I want to string up on the high tension towers on either side, running along the back, and then run some wire in between through my telephone poles that start here in the industrial park and run through the yard and then back behind the brewery. I've got another set of MTH traffic signals. They're already set up. I just need to get under and wire them. I've got to weasel my way under there and hook up the other box, the little box that comes with them. When it comes to the grade crossing, the signals are up and where I want them. I'd like to get a couple of pieces of plywood and put them in an L shape and kind of extend the grade crossing out so I can finish it. So I can finish it from the left. And that's about it. The signs that are on here, I've got one from it says Union Pacific Maintenance Yard, one from my industrial park, and then one from my city limits. I bought those online. I can't remember right now the name of the site, but I will look them up. I will look up the site and I'll post it on the on the description. I hope y'all enjoyed my update. Now it's time to run some trades. Recently I got a new CSX SG60 MTH Premier. Just came out a couple of months ago, I want to say. I just picked up the new Norfolk Southern SG70 Ace along with the Alaska SG70 Mac passenger set, which was featured in MTH's 2015 Volume 1 catalog. Right now, I've got one coming in. Hopefully my Norfolk Southern OCS will be in next week. I know MTH already has them in stock. I'm just waiting for it to get to my dealer. That'd be in Stockyard Express up in Oberlin, Ohio. As soon as I get it in, I should be getting a call from them. And once I get it in, I'll go ahead and run it with my Norfolk and Western cars, with my Norfolk and Western passenger cars, which go behind the J class until the actual Norfolk and Southern OCS cars come in. Hopefully in January or February. We'll see when they actually come in. But I hope, like I said, I hope everybody enjoyed my update and has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And now let's run some trains, and I'll try to make a couple of more videos before the new year. Thank you so much.